The 2000s childhood trauma iceberg. Now it's gonna be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Immediately what I could think of, salad fingers, Happy Tree Friends. I remember the exact place I was at when I first saw Happy Tree Friends. I still look at Happy Tree Friends, it's so disgusting. Like, how did they come up with those gruesome deaths? Final Destination movies? Yeah, I wasn't watching them like that though. I watched one. I think it was when I was 13. That was the first time I watched it. So go ahead and watch this video, man.
Hey guys, Blame It On George here, and this is the 2000s childhood trauma iceberg. The 2000s was a wild time to be a kid. Home internet was brand new.
Man, y'all was kids in 2020, real talk. Y'all don't even know about any of this for real. What's the name of this creature right here? What's the name of this creature? Y'all don't even know this creature. Yeah, the peanut butter jelly. Yeah, what happened to this, bro? This was low-key lit.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Let me stop. Hashtag Tommy's a cornball. Get it trending on Twitter.
Phones were just becoming a thing, and flash games ruled the school computer lab. This iceberg covers media from
the Flash, I forgot it ended. Yo, every time Flash is like mentioned, I actually get so pissed because it dead got ended.
Decade that terrified children of the new millennium. Now, it's impossible to capture every single piece of film, television, game, internet video, or what have you that scared an entire generation. Feel free to let me know if I missed something, because I would actually love to make a part 2. Hell, even a 90s childhood trauma iceberg would be a lot of fun. I'm already looking at Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh, and shoutouts to WinCon97, who also made a 2000s childhood trauma iceberg. He kind of beat me to the punch there, but it's a great video that definitely inspired me to tackle the subject myself. So let him know that I sent ya. Anyways, on to the iceberg.
Bro, the 90s was lit, to be honest. I wouldn't mind being grown up 2000s, early 2010s, or 90s.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. No
classic.
list of 2000s childhood trauma is complete without Courage the Cowardly Dog. This show was meant to be nightmare fuel.
Bro, do you see the way like the whole thing looks like? Does this not look haunting? Like, bro, imagine being a kid looking at this f***ing set. This shit look haunting, dog. It'll be like 10 or 11 at night, and it's like the final thing they got on. They got Courage the Cowardly Dog on. You just got your whole room dark, and this is what you're seeing.
For kids who grew up in the new millennium. Airing from 1999 to 2002 on Cartoon Network, the show followed Courage, a timid pink dog living in the middle of nowhere, who protected his owners, Muriel and Eustace, from a constant barrage of supernatural threats. Despite being aimed at children, the show was infamous for its creepy tone, surreal visuals, and disturbing characters. Standout episodes like King Ramses' Curse featured eerie CGI and ghostly chanting. Others, like Freaky Fred, pushed the envelope further with basically a hair-shaving predator. The Mask tackled serious
Oh my god, yeah, this dude looks so f***ing creepy, bro.
Push the envelope further with basically a hair-shaving predator.
Yeah.
The Mask tackled serious topics like
it's insane. Like when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, he's weird. Like he loves hair or whatever. But dude was literally like an EDP. Hey guys, Tom NFG here. Did you know only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on? I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it, you know? It doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams, you know? We have a lot of fun over there, I'm telling you. We have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it, bye. Damn.
and trauma, all under the guise of a cartoon.
Bloody Mary ritual. Every school
oh
bathroom.
My god. How many times do you say Bloody Mary's name in the mirror? 3 times? I'm gonna do it right now. We're all going down. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. We rebuke that. Amen. If you ever thought I was gonna do that, go ahead and look in the mirror yourself. Cleanse your sins, my nigga. No, my N-word, because that's, come on. We don't, like, no. OMG, Tommy died. Yo, for a second, deadass, I thought she got me. I don't know why. I forgot my cam is right here. She's right here. Nigga, oh my god. No, that's bad. That's bad. I'm not even joking. For a second, I thought she got me.
Thousands came along with its own urban legend, and Bloody Mary was the queen of them all. The ritual was simple. Turn off
See,
the light.
I didn't do all this. If you got candles and did it, she might have showed up to you. Because there was no reason to be doing all this, bro. The most it was is like kids in school. They'd say like 3 times in the mirror, turn off the lights, and everybody would run out. Yo, y'all ever had that happen? That was peak life, bro. That's when we were all innocent in life. Good times.
Stand in front of a mirror and chant Bloody Mary 3 times. Supposedly, a ghostly woman would appear in the reflection. Sometimes she screamed,
Who even is Bloody Mary?
Sometimes she scratched her face, and sometimes she dragged you into the mirror. No one really knew where the legend came from, but kids continued to dare each other to try it, usually during sleepovers or right before recess. The point wasn't to see something, it was to prove you weren't a coward. Thankfully, it isn't real, but that didn't stop you from hesitating at the third Bloody Mary. Samara from The Ring.
Who that? Oh, that's the girl that scrolls on the
The
TV?
Ring came out in 2002 and traumatized an entire generation. The plot was terrifying but straightforward. A cursed videotape that kills you 7 days after you watch it. The girl's responsible.
I never watched this. I just know like the meme about the girl.
Samara, a pale, long-haired girl with a blank stare and jerky movements that felt just wrong in every way. What made it worse was how believable it felt at the time. The grainy tape, the phone.
What's this dude's name? He's a known actor. Oh my god, wait, is this Bucky Barnes? Actor? Paul Walker? No. The Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's him? Damn, that's crazy.
Phone call. The idea that just
It's not? That looks exactly like him.
something could doom you. It played directly into the anxiety of kids growing up with VHS tapes, sleepovers, and no real understanding of how horror movies worked. Years later, the imagery still sticks in the heads of any child that was unfortunate enough to see The Ring.
Teletubbies. On the surface, Teletubbies.
I don't know how kids watch this. I never watched this. This is terrifying. If you watch Teletubbies, you definitely grew up with some type of mental problems. Like, you definitely the type of person like itching to grab a gun and shoot somebody in the street. I cannot trust you. My mom had pictures of me as a kid, right, watching stuff. It was most of the time like Barney. I loved Barney. Like, this show's just terrifying.
Tubbies seemed harmless. 4 colorful babbling creatures, giggling and eating tubby custard. However, for many 2000s kids, this show felt deeply wrong. Aimed at toddlers, it aired on PBS and the BBC, featuring Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe, in a bizarre, isolated world called the Tubbytronic Superdome. The son had a baby.
The funny thing is, knowing like grown-ass men were sitting in them suits like, fuck. This is my life. This is what my life has come to. Sitting in this hot, sweaty suit. Being on camera going, yeah, I'm 31. But low-key, if I was one of them, I just look at my paycheck. They probably got paid like $50K per episode or something. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm balling. I don't care. When I tell you doing kids content on YouTube, you speed run millions, bro. You could literally make 10 million one year off of just being a kids YouTuber.
His face. The vacuum cleaner was alive, and the entire show ran on a loop of echoing voices and hypnotic repetition. But nothing scared children quite like The Lion and the Bear. It was a sketch that
What is that? Ah! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Nigga, what is that?
In several episodes,
I never
featuring
seen this.
crudely animated cardboard cutouts of a lion and a bear, sliding across the screen with unsettling music and distorted voiceovers.
Oh, it's like evil.
Where's the bear?
That is so creepy. What the hell?
It was meant to be
That
silly,
is dead ass traumatizing to
but
a
became
kid.
nightmare fuel for many.
Before the movie even started, this sound
THX
already had you
opening.
panicking.
Nah, not really. The sound is kind of peak. Yeah, this is goated, to be honest.
The THX logo, known as the Deep Note, played before tons of VHS tapes and theatrical
Wow, for no
releases in
reason?
the 2000s. It was a pretty simple animation and sound. A quiet hum that slowly starts swelling into a deafening...
Where they at now? They got rid of it. Yo, what's the best like movie opening thing? Columbia Pictures, the lady with the shit, the torch. That one's the most goated to me. Goated. And then DreamWorks comes up. 20th Century Fox. I don't know. To me, it's just
almost alien sounding chord paired with the THX logo.
Pixar's peak.
For a generation of kids, this genuinely felt like a
Really?
horror
Did this scare y'all?
movie intro.
Really?
There was nothing malicious about it. THX was just a sound certification company founded by George Lucas. The Deep Note was meant to test the full range of a theater's audio system. But for children of the time, it felt more like a warning siren than a quality check.
Y'all pussies.
The entire forums and memes are dedicated to people reliving the fear. Like
See, I would say it's fair if you're talking about like the PlayStation 2 logo thing or whatever, the way the PlayStation looked like, the holding screen, that is scary.
genuinely remember thinking the theater was going to explode every time I would
disc
hear
screen, yeah,
this.
yeah.
My personal theory behind this is that since the sound was obviously designed by adults, that when children heard the sound that hadn't experienced hearing loss like adults typically had their ears completely rocked by a sound like this.
Drug PSAs. Throughout the 2000s, and
Nah, it's good they made these scary. Because, bro, you know how many people this probably saved from, like, addictions? These scary PSAs?
drug campaigns flooded the airwaves with terrifying imagery and guilt-inducing messages.
Okay, marijuana.
The most
Bad.
infamous was the Partnership for a Drug-Free America series.
This is scary, but
One
understandable,
featured
yeah.
a girl literally deflating on the couch after
What
smoking
the
weed.
fuck?
Another had a kid shoot himself because he was just that high. Then
Bro, nobody would ever do that. Yo, the shit they used back then to justify goddamn banning, like, weed or whatever is insane. I can let you know right now, none of my friends that smoked ever grabbed a gun. They're like, oh, who does that? If anything, you do that with alcohol. Okay, I don't know how true it is. The reason why these weed ads came out and whatnot is because the alcohol companies wanted to make it so like people bought alcohol. Alcohol is significantly worse for you. Both are bad every day. Obviously, you shouldn't have weed and alcohol, but if you have alcohol every day, you will die. Nobody's died from having weed every day, bro. Like, look at that nigga Snoop Dogg, bro. He's been smoking for like 60 years straight.
And there was This Is Your Brain on Drugs.
Oh, that's a
featuring
classic.
a calm voice cracking an egg into a frying pan. One standout was the Talking Dog PSA, where a girl's dog tells her he misses how she used to be before she started using drugs. It was creepy, sad, and weirdly effective. All of them aired during daytime TV, often unskippable, and always way too intense for a kid just trying to watch SpongeBob.
Nah. Nah. See, that is traumatizing to see as a kid. Okay, tier 2.
If you were online in the 2000s,
Screamers?
chances are you fell for this one.
I'm not even joking. I just got PTSD. My heart just stopped. My heart just stopped for a second.
The Scary Maze game looked like a simple challenge. Guide a dot through a narrow maze without touching the walls. But right when the player's concentration peaked, a terrifying image of Reagan from The Exorcist would pop up on screen, accompanied by a blood-curdling scream. It wasn't just a simple prank. It was a whole genre of video.
Yo, low-key, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to do this to my kids in the future. Is that crazy to say? Look, listen, if I got that trauma as a kid, they have to get that trauma. Look, it's gonna make them more of a person. If I got a son, it's gonna make him more of a man. If I got a daughter, it's gonna make her more of a woman. How? I don't know. I couldn't even really explain to you how, but dude, it happened to me and it's gonna happen to them. I must pass it on.
These were called screamers. They were meant to look like
I'm just saying that because I saw a video of like some parent literally doing that to their kid.
videos that would jump scare unexpecting viewers. Classic examples include the K-Feed
Looking back at these compared to the internet now, these are so unscary.
car commercial where a car coasts peacefully down a hill
Yeah, these
before
are
a
so
zombie
unscary.
face jumps out, and the ghost chair video, which loops for minutes before screaming directly into your soul. These screamers spread fast. Kids would pass them around in computer labs, reaction videos were everywhere, and if you were unlucky
It's
enough
scary
to
because it
click on
catches you
one
off guard,
alone at
exactly.
night, you would never look at the internet the same way. The genre slowly faded as Flash died off, but its trauma still lingers in anyone who grew up at the time. And you better believe that to this day, I still use the video scrubber to check for screamers.
Quiznos Sponge Monkey commercials.
I remember as a joke, I think in one of my videos, I put like a jump scare. I put Bonnie Blue as like a jump scare as a joke, and somebody like deadass was like, yo, bro, chill. Like, you can't be showing jump scares, bro. I got heart problems. I was like, bro. Crazy thing is I put a warning message too as a joke.
In 2004,
What is this?
Quiznos
Ew!
launched a series of commercials featuring sponge monkeys, which were crudely animated things with soulless eyes, warped human faces, and high-pitched singing voices.
Ugh.
They weren't cute, they weren't appetizing,
Yeah.
and they screamed things like, "We love the subs."
Yo, what happened to Quiznos? I never had Quiznos. I remember there was one near where I lived and then it shut down.
While wearing hats and floating on screen. The ads were created by animator Joel Veitch, who had initially designed the characters
Damn,
for
he
a
damn near looked like one of those people, bro. One of them things.
viral internet video called We Like the Moon. Quiznos licensed the characters, hoping to appeal to a younger, internet-savvy audience. Instead, they traumatized children and confused pretty much everyone else. The commercials were pulled after a few months due to negative feedback, but it was too
I wonder
late.
why.
Now they are only remembered as a piece of unintentional 2000s horror.
At first glance, Happy
Happy
Tree
Tree
Friends
Friends.
looks like a cute cartoon. Bright colors, cuddly animals.
And then the fucking intro. That shit is so hilarious.
and upbeat music. But if you watch for more than 30 seconds, you learn the hard truth. This was full-blown animated gore. Premiering in 1999 on the internet and blowing up
Bro, if you look at these videos like on here, they have like millions of views, like tens of millions of views. The people that made these animations probably got paid a bag. But then again, it's gore, so like, would they even allow that? I don't know.
up through the 2000s, the show featured
it has
innocent-looking
fandom?
woodland creatures who died in the most brutal ways
I
possible.
think the most disgusting one I saw was, bro, his eye popped out. The shit like wrapped around a tree, bro, and pulled him, bro. And I think his whole body just got pulled off. And then y'all remember the military dude, the little military squirrel guy? That nigga is the perfect definition of crash out. Flippy, yeah. He could be the picture straight up of Crash Out. That man at prom.
Possible. Episodes usually started light and cheerful before spiraling into chaotic bloodbaths. The whole thing was made worse by the stark contrast. A cheerful soundtrack, cute, cuddly, kid-friendly characters that all of a sudden are getting a chainsaw to the face.
Hey,
A
what
lot
the
of
hell?
kids discovered it by accident, thinking it was safe only to be scarred by exploding eyeballs and just blenders full of fur.
Coraline. Coraline hit theaters in 2009.
That is not the Coraline I know. What the hell is that?
Adapted from Neil Gaiman's novel and brought to life by Leica Studios using stop-motion animation. It followed a young girl who discovers a secret door in her new home, leading to a parallel world that looks perfect at first.
Bro, people love Coraline. I know like 2 friends that say like it's their favorite movie still. I think it's just something about the time it came out and like how unique it was.
Her other mother cooks gourmet meals, the neighbors are fun, and everything seems better. Until it isn't. The other mother offers Coraline the opportunity to stay in the other world forever, on the condition that buttons are sewn onto her eyes. The uncanny animation and the slow shift.
Loki looks really good for its time. Like,
What's the
actually,
goal?
I'm saying its time. When did this come out? Like 2010 or something? Yeah, it's not that long ago.
It's terrifying, hit especially hard for
It spawned
kids.
the next generation of golf
And
girls.
despite being rated PG, Coraline traumatized many younger viewers.
This was rated PG. They're low-key insane for that. It should have been at least 13 and up.
Fruit Gushers commercial. In the early 2000s, Fruit Gushers ran a series of bizarre
I forgot about Fruit Gushers. Do y'all still have these shits? This candy is like probably one of the worst candies you can have. Like, and the taste isn't good, but like just the chemicals in it, bro. And I remember I would like get one, eat it, and it's just like so chewy, bro. I didn't like it.
commercials where children's
Fruit
heads would
Gushers is good.
transform
I don't know. I
into
don't like
giant
them.
pieces of fruit after eating the snack.
Fruity combos that are very freaky.
A kid
That's
would bite
not-
into
that's
a
not that
gusher, then instantly morph into a blueberry, a giant raspberry, or a watermelon with eyes. The ads aired constantly during kids' programming blocks. And while they were meant to be funny,
I don't think
the
that's that
effect
bad.
was
Like, I wouldn't
unsettling.
get scared.
The campaign
Okay,
ran
well-
for years, becoming one of the most recognizable and weirdest examples of early 2000s snack food marketing. Closing logos. For some reason,
Oh my god, I love this. I love this one. I love this one. Dude, he comes up. He's like this. Hold up. Hi, I'm Carl. Or what is his name? Paul? Hi, I'm Paul. Literally identical. Oh, cause he's a monkey. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
closing logos in the 2000s were downright creepy sometimes. Right as you were finishing your favorite show, if you were unlucky enough to watch the credits, you'd encounter a terrifying logo animation. Klasky
remember these
Csupo
being
was the biggest
terrifying.
offender, known for producing Rugrats and Rocket Power. Their logo featured a strange, distorted face with huge eyes and a monstrous
Okay,
mouth.
yeah, that screwed me.
It felt like something from a VHS tape that should have stayed lost. But there was also DNA Productions, best known for Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, I
Their
love
logo
this
showed
one.
an ape with 3 eyes who would turn to the camera and say, "Hi, I'm Paul." While it was probably supposed to be harmless, it creeped
This
out
is
a
a-
generation of kids.
This is exactly what greets you when you go to hell. Bro, it's not that bad, bro. Why are you hating on my man's Paul?
To this day, comments can still be found online from people who were terrified of them as children.
Tier 3, let's go.
Amber Alerts.
Yeah, this is
Few
terrifying.
things-
This top tier most terrifying thing.
Hit harder than an Amber Alert going off in the middle.
Like you're just in the middle of watching SpongeBob. It's just silence. You just hear. In your area, there may be a missing child. Check around you. They were kidnapped 5 minutes ago. And it's to get people's attention, though. It's like an EAS. Yo, the day, y'all, we have one of these, and they say a nuke is dropping. GG's. Imagine you're just watching TV or something, and you just hear a nuclear device has been sent to the United States of America, or wherever you live. I don't know. Please evacuate in. I don't even want to know how humanity would react to that.
Middle of the day.
That happened in Hawaii. Yeah, I remember it happened in Hawaii. I mean, they didn't get an EAS. It was like a text message. Nigga said ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. The fact that they added not a drill is insane. Because if you see this, bro, you're just thinking, holy shit, it's over.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay.
That is fucking terrifying. Bro, what do you do in this moment? Like, for me, bro, I literally don't know what I would do. I'd probably just sit down and enjoy the last sunset. I don't know, bro. I just enjoy my time alone.
Introduced in the early 2000s, Amber Alerts were emergency notifications sent out to help locate abducted children. They could appear on TV, radio, highway signs, and eventually cell phones. But what really stuck wasn't just the message, it was the sound. You'd be watching cartoons or falling asleep when the screen would play a loud, blaring alarm. It felt like the start of something
Is this on Fairly Odd Parents?
catastrophic. The alerts often
That's what
gave
people would be
descriptions
doing.
of the child, the
shooting
abductor, and a vehicle. As a kid, you didn't fully understand what was happening, you just knew that someone was in serious danger.
I mean, I fully understood. Somebody was missing. Somebody got kidnapped.
Alerts were definitely necessary, and have saved many lives.
Wow. Wait, they really work? I mean, that kind of makes sense that Amber Alerts work.
But there was something about seeing such a
Most were found?
serious message while watching cartoons that was terrifying.
Mr. Meaty.
Not this.
Second only to Courage the Cowardly Dog, Mr. Meaty was one of the weirdest, most disturbing shows to
Yo, wait, am I tripping? Bro, why does Deadass look like Trump? What the fuck?
ever air on a kids' network. It premiered on Nickelodeon in 2006 and followed two teenage slackers, Josh and Parker, who worked at a fast food joint inside of a shopping
Trump
mall.
at McDonald's?
But instead of serving up burgers and jokes, the show delivered body
Ugh.
horror,
Ew.
grotesque puppetry, and episodes that felt more like fever dreams than comedy. The characters looked like rotting Muppets. The animation was slow and awkward, and the storylines got dark. One episode featured a tapeworm that took control of Parker's body. Despite only lasting a couple of seasons, Mr. Meaty has endured as one of Nickelodeon's strangest programs.
Was anyone else afraid of these? Head-On was an
commercials.
over-the-counter homeopathic headache remedy that aired its infamous
You can rub something on your head and it fixes your headache? They just be making any type of medicine, bro. If you're gonna take a Advil,
commercial in the mid-2000s. The ad featured no explanation, no visuals of relief, just the same phrase repeated over and over. Head-On, apply directly to the forehead. Head-On, apply directly to the forehead. Head-On,
I remember Corey reacted to this. I've never seen
apply
this.
directly to the forehead, while a model just awkwardly rubbed this glue stick looking thing across her forehead. That was it. They didn't really explain the benefits or the price. And this would constantly come on between cartoons, and it became a meme in the days before memes were a thing. It's not scary in the traditional sense, but there was just something so uncomfortable about how mindless and hypnotic
Right.
it all felt.
Interesting, okay.
Invader Zim Dark Harvest episode. Invader Zim was already a strange show.
Oh, I think I know
but
about
the
this.
episode Dark Harvest took it to another level.
Yeah, I know about this.
Airing in 2001 on Nickelodeon,
It's when they something about organs. They stole organs.
the episode followed Zim as he tried to appear more human by harvesting actual human organs from his classmates. He sneaks through the school, ripping out spleens, stomachs, and eyeballs,
That's
replacing
so
his own
disgusting.
insides with a pile of stolen anatomy. Nickelodeon did air the
He stole her brain?
episode, but it didn't take long for it to spark complaints. Parents called it too violent. Some stations pulled it from rotation, and for
That straight up just sounds like very kitty gore.
years, Dark Harvest was seen as the show's most infamous moment. Even now, it's remembered as one of the most disturbing episodes in children's TV history. Wiggles puppets. The Wiggles were a comforting staple of early 2000s kids TV. It had
I never watched The Wiggles. I was watching Yo Gabba Gabba. I remember that. Yo Gabba Gabba. Yo Gabba. That was my thing.
music, catchy songs, dancing, and friendly faces. But then came the puppets. In 2006, during the Wiggles show season 5,
God.
the group introduced puppet versions of themselves. These weren't minor characters or background props. They were full-sized, rubber-faced versions of the Wiggles, with wide eyes and mouths that barely moved. To my knowledge, they never re-aired after their season 5 appearance. People still talk about them, and every now and then, clips will appear online with comments full of people remembering how creepy they were.
I don't remember
Chain
this.
letters. Chain
that?
letters were messages that
No.
came with a threat. Forward this to 10 people,
cringe.
or you'll die, or something like that. Sometimes they featured a ghost who would appear in your room at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
At other times, they displayed
They make it like so bullshitty, bro. They'd be like, listen right now. The person before you ignored this and got slaughtered at sleep at 5 a.m. by a demon. For your sake, I'm setting this for you. To save you. Just like this message saved me. Share this to 10 of your friends so you can survive for the night. Or this demon will come out. Just like that, bro.
grainy photos of bloody faces or cryptic warnings written in all caps. An infamous example was Carmen Winstead, a young girl who was supposedly pushed down the sewer by 5 bullies. Her tale was shared via text, with the promise that Carmen would attack those who didn't repost her story. The logic was...
Man, shut your ass up, Carmen Winstead, you dumbass b****. Shut your ass up, nigga. Your ass still ain't came back.
flimsy, but the fear was real.
My name is Carmen Winstead. Did you know that I...
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead.
What the-
I'm 17 years old. I am very similar to you. Did I mention to you that I'm dead? A few years ago, a group of girls pushed me down a sewer hole to try and embarrass me. When I didn't come back up, the police came. The girls said that I had fell and everyone believed them. The police found my body in the sewer. I had a broken neck and my face was torn off. Send this message to 15 people after you listen the whole message.
Alright, chat, you know what I gotta do. I gotta send it in the chat, y'all. Look, listen, I can't take any risks.
Real. Kids forwarded them out of pure panic, especially after reading stories of people who...
Look, it be like this, bro. What did I say? Hi, I am Teddy. Once you read this, you cannot get out. Shut up, bitch! You, Teddy! Nigga, do something! Bitch ass nigga! You!
supposedly didn't, and quote-unquote disappeared mysteriously. These messages showed up in
Rip
email
Tommy.
boxes, comment sections, MySpace bulletins, and even YouTube
This
comments.
shit.
Most adults dismissed them as spam, but for kids navigating the internet for
Yeah,
the
kids,
first time, chain letters
this was
felt like a
frightening.
direct threat. You didn't know if they were
Tommy,
real,
look behind
but
you.
weren't about to risk it.
It's a job application! No, I'm just...
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, I just want to quickly shout out that I now have a community tab. It's YouTube's new feature. It's like a forum on my
22
YouTube channel.
22-year
And it's super
college
cool.
grad
You
acting
can
like a
post about your
chimpanzee.
own lost media mystery or internet mystery or whatever you want to post there, and I'll definitely take a look at it. Yeah, it's super cool. And I also now have a Spotify page. So if you just want to listen to my videos, I'm going to be uploading them onto Spotify now, which is super cool, and I'm excited
Low-key, Jorge got like a smoother voice.
to get it up and running. So yep,
like
and
a
let's
soothing
get back
voice.
to the video.
Is it pronounced George or Jorge? What did he say? I'm just gonna say George. I think he said George.
Before indie horror blew up on Steam, scary flash games ruled the internet and traumatized an entire generation of 2000s kids. And unlike the screamers we mentioned before, you kind of knew what you were getting into when you started
What's the
playing
scary
these
flash
games.
game?
You didn't need good graphics, just a dark setting, creepy music, and
I
the
don't remember
occasional
playing, like, a
jump
horror
scare.
game
Titles
on
like
Flash.
Ex Mortis and The House
Okay, this looks-
became legendary for their atmosphere alone. Ex Mortis, in particular, sneaking up in the woods outside an abandoned house,
This
then
looks
quickly
creepy.
descended into satanic cults, murder scenes, and demonic possession, all rendered in grainy,
Oh, yeah, I
lo-fi
rebuke this in
horror.
the name of
Then
Jesus.
there was The
What is
House,
this?
a point-and-click ghost story set in a cursed home where every interaction triggered another chilling sound or visual. It felt like something you shouldn't be playing, which really only made it better. But a personal
Ugh.
favorite of mine was Garfield's Scary Scavenger Hunt. I remember playing this as
Really?
a kid
I
and
never heard of
getting
this.
terrified at the jump scares. Yeah, jump scares in a Garfield game, in which he visits a haunted mansion collecting different types of donuts. This one is a little bit of a bait and switch, like the Screamer videos, but it really lets you know right away something's
Oh,
up.
hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Ghost videos. Before YouTube became polished and monetized, it was a goldmine for low-quality, terrifying
Bro, and it's like they use this certain type of music in the ghost video.
ghost videos. Throughout the 2000s, grainy clips claiming to show real ghosts spread like wildfire.
You're scared
Most
by
were-
this? I mean, I was like goddamn like 8, bro, so.
Filmed on VHS or early digital cameras. Security footage, abandoned buildings, or a shaky cell phone with dim lighting. A door would slam, a face would appear in the mirror, a transparent figure would glide in the background. You know the drill. One of the most infamous was the Real Demons Caught on Tape video, which appeared on YouTube in
Oh my god, this was terrifying.
the late 2000s. And honestly, for the time, the effects were quite impressive, even if the ending is a bit cheesy. Another classic is Japanese Ghost Girl in the Mirror, featuring a young girl whose reflection
this?
stared at the viewer even after she had already turned away. Some were clearly staged, but that didn't matter, because as a kid watching at 2 in the morning, it felt real. Creepypastas. To be
Classic.
honest, creepypastas became popular in the 2010s, but they started in the mid to late 2000s. The term comes from copypasta, a block of text which is copied and pasted across forums. Except instead of memes, these were horror stories.
Images were the scary part.
Short, spooky, and often written anonymously. Early examples spread through sites like 4chan, Something Awful, and later creepypasta.com. Some of the earliest and most iconic were Ben Drowned, the haunted Majora's Mask cartridge.
Which one scared you out the most? I would say for me, the one that scared me the most was Smile Dog was up there. It was something about Smile Dog, then what else? The basic ones like Slender Man and Jeff the Killer, that didn't scare me. It was like the more niche ones, bro. I'm forgetting.
There's also Jeff the Killer, which is,
his face is just so hilarious, bro. Like, I look at this and it's so funny.
well, pretty well known at this point. Smile.jpg featuring a
Yes, terrifying.
cursed image of a demonic dog. And of
Terrifying.
course, Slender Man, a faceless,
not
suit-wearing
scary.
figure who stalked children and appeared in photos as a blurred shadow. Most stories were obviously fake, but that didn't matter. We sure as hell believed them.
Now, I deadass thought Slender Man was a real story.
For many 2000s kids,
Jeff the Killer, I thought Jeff the Killer was based off a real story too.
creepypastas were the gateway drug into internet horror.
Yeah.
Obey the Walrus.
What do I know this?
Obey the Walrus was one of those early YouTube videos you were dared to watch. Uploaded in the late 2000s.
Is this the one with the dude staring?
The video begins with a clip
Oh,
of
never mind. What the hell is this?
Andros from Star Fox singing a Spanish child song, before abruptly cutting to grainy footage of a thin, androgynous figure walking towards the camera.
No, I'm not laughing at her. I'm not laughing at her. But like, bro, what is that transition? As a kid, this would be terrifying though, definitely. 'Cause you're like, what the hell is this? No, it was just like the transition, bro. I'm not laughing at her or anything. Why did it go from that to this?
Within a natural gate, set to eerie, off-key music. The figure was later identified as performance artist Sandy Crisp,
Okay.
also known as the Goddess Bunny, who had polio as a child and went on to star in underground films. The original footage
for her.
wasn't meant to be scary,
Yeah.
but when it was re-edited with disturbing music and effects, the internet turned it into something else entirely. The way it was cut, looped, and distorted
No, now I feel bad. She's probably like a really nice lady.
made it feel like
Damn, she died. Rip.
a cursed video. It spread across YouTube and forums. Some viewers claimed it caused insomnia, nausea, or just a deep sense of dread. The myth grew quickly. People believed it was part of a larger ARG or linked with occult messages. None of that was true. But in the context of early YouTube, Obey the Walrus hit all the right buttons to stick in your brain.
Released at the turn of the century, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is one of the darkest Nintendo games ever made. Following the events of Ocarina of Time, Link finds himself in a parallel world called Termina, where the moon is falling from the sky. You have 3 days to stop the apocalypse. Fail, and everyone dies. The twist? You're stuck in a time loop. After
I don't know why. I kind of want to play like Zelda. I want to play the whole series because I haven't touched it at all.
completing a temple,
Right now, all the games is boring to me. Like, I can hop on Call of Duty, boring, like 2K, basic shit everybody hops on. But like, I need like a story game.
you use your ocarina to reset the clock, watching the same people relive their final hours over and over again. The game is haunting. Characters expressed dread, denial, and despair. The soundtrack was eerie, the mask transformations looked painful, and the moon just by itself is nightmare.
Ew!
Even though Ocarina of Time really is the better game overall, Majora's Mask has a special place in my heart because of its dark atmosphere and all the mystery surrounding it. Stylistically, Majora's Mask is one of a kind.
The dawn is your enemy. If you were watching Adult Swim
that?
late at night and suddenly saw
A robot chicken.
a bizarre screen with the text, "The dawn is your enemy," you knew it was far past your bedtime. This bumper would play to signal the end of Adult Swim's late-night programming.
I don't think I've ever seen
It showed
that.
an ominous piece of
Oh my
artwork
God,
with
what the
dreary eyes, and that menacing phrase staring back at you. It felt like a warning. Like you stayed up
What the hell? This is terrifying. I've never seen this. Y'all saw this? Why not just put a, oh, kids, go away. It's adult time. Do we need this?
too late and weren't supposed to see what came next. It first aired in the mid-2000s and quickly became one of Adult Swim's most infamous bumpers.
Oh.
Unlike their usual absurd or sarcastic interstitials,
Right.
this one was completely deadpan.
Kids would never go. Yeah, if you're a kid and you saw that, you're scared. You're never watching Adult Swim. Like,
I feel fantastic.
top tier traumatic moments on the internet for me. And hearing the stories and people would be like, did you know the I Feel Fantastic woman was based off a murder case? And every time she sang, it was a woman kidnapped in a box, screaming for her life. Traumatizing. I actually hate seeing the video now. I still don't like it.
One of the earliest and
All
most
that for it to
infamous
be a robot?
creepypasta era videos, I Feel Fantastic was uploaded to YouTube
Is that Taylor Swift, my nigga? The hell?
in the mid-2000s and quickly became a viral source of unease. The video features a humanoid robot named Tara standing stiffly in a living room. Throughout the video, she sings a distorted, auto-tuned phrase over and over. I feel fantastic. Hey, hey, hey.
Whoa.
There's no explanation, no context, just
Bro, and it's something about the windows having no blinds either. Like the darkness of hell is just watching you through the windows.
unsettling footage, and a sudden cut to an empty patch of dirt, as if someone had been buried there.
Yeah.
That one moment launched years of speculation. Viewers started theorizing that the creator was a serial killer, and Tara wore the clothes of his victims. In reality, Tara was just an art project. But the low video quality, the robotic singing, and total lack of emotion made I Feel Fantastic
My
one
thing
of
is,
the
how
most
did they even find this
disturbing
video
and
on YouTube?
iconic videos of the early internet.
It was definitely buried down the algorithm. Somebody had to find it
For
like one view.
2000s kids with unsupervised
man.
internet access,
LiveLeak.
LiveLink was the point
I'm so glad this website is gone. And now instead we got IG Reels.
of no return. Launched in 2006, LiveLink was a video sharing site known for hosting
forget
raw,
Kick. Yeah, Kick too.
uncensored videos, including violence, accidents, war zones, and real-life death. But unlike YouTube, it did not censor or blur anything. There were no age restrictions, no warnings, just the worst parts of reality, a click away. And the worst part is, you wouldn't even go there on purpose a lot of the times. Sometimes you just follow a shady link from a forum or get tricked by a "don't watch this" message, which of course you had to watch. But once you landed on a LiveLeak clip, you saw things.
This is exactly why I talked about in like the war video. Like, dude, like Gen Z has seen so much war and injuries and gore. Like, nobody's gonna want to fight in the military, bro, when that could happen to you. Why would you ever want to do that?
You could not unsee. It became infamous for the watermark alone. Just seeing the words livelink.com was enough to make your stomach
Humans were not meant to see all this goddamn gore and destruction.
drop. The site defended itself as a platform for unfiltered news, but it was really just a hub for shock content. And
Yeah.
countless kids, including myself, saw things they were not ready for, like the beheading videos are just burned into my memory. It was finally shut down in 2021.
Hand thing.
Man, I remember 2016, ISIS, bro. I was in middle school, bro. Kids was dead ass like showing each other videos of that. They showed me videos, bro. Like, look at this, and then just somebody getting their head cut off. And I'm like, why are you showing me this? I dead ass hate those kids now. I look back and I'm like, what's wrong with you? It took too long to get shut down. Yeah.
Thing. It's difficult not to make this list just a compilation of early YouTube horror. But
Ew.
Hand Thing by Shay St. John definitely deserves a mention. Shay St. John was a fictional character portrayed through the use of masks,
What is
wigs,
that?
prosthetic limbs, and intentionally jittery editing. Her most infamous clip, Hand Thing, featured Shay rhythmically clapping her oversized plastic hands together while whispering and laughing to herself. There's little plots, no context.
I remember this.
Just
This is
weird,
still creepy.
unsettling audio and a surreal, almost fever dream energy that made viewers feel like they were watching something cursed. Many assumed it was a lost experimental film, or worse, a real person spiraling. In truth, it was performance art designed to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Boobas.
Oh
If you
god.
thought the Teletubbies were weird, Boobas made it look grounded. Airing from 2003 to
This is legit worse than a lot of brain rot we have nowadays. This is-
2006, Boobas were a British children's show created by the same mind behind Teletubbies. It featured 5 brightly colored, blob-like creatures with glowing energy trails and dead, blinking eyes. They didn't speak, they just made squeaky, breathy noises, while floating, bouncing, and spinning in slow
that?
motion. The show was designed to encourage movement and visual stimulation for preschoolers, but for older kids who accidentally stumbled onto it, it felt like a strange fever dream.
I mean, looking at Cocomelon now, Cocomelon's more palatable though. Like an adult can watch Cocomelon and be fine, not traumatized. I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, what is this? This is like traumatic to look at.
The PlayStation 3 launched in 2006, and for some ungodly reason, Sony kicked off its marketing with one of the most disturbing
Yeah,
commercials
I think I know
ever
this.
aired. Set in a stark white room, the ad features a lifeless baby doll sitting across from a PS3 console. Out of nowhere, the doll's eyes dart open. It starts laughing, then
Yeah, they was
tears roll
tripping.
down its face. Meanwhile, the PS3 levitates while eerie sound effects play in the background. Sony said the ad was meant to be surreal and artsy, trying to position
Bro, they were tripping because, like, what the f is that? Deadass.
In the PS3 as futuristic and mysterious. But to most people, especially kids watching late night TV, it felt more like a horror short than a product commercial.
Salad Fingers Flash Cartoon. At the dawn of the early internet,
Salad Fingers was never scary to me. Were y'all scared of this? I don't know. It just looked kind of like goofy to me, bro.
Salad Fingers was one of the first viral online horrors. Created by David Firth in 2004, the Flash cartoon followed a green character named Salad Fingers, who lived alone in a wasteland. He had a thing for rusty spoons and talked to finger puppets. The animation was
I thought the dude was dressed like Killua. I was about to say, what the hell? They should low-key make this like a TV show nowadays or something, or a movie.
crude and the tone was unsettling. And you were never quite sure what was real and what was in Salad Fingers' head. It stood out from everything else online at the time. While most Flash content was meant to be funny or random, Salad Fingers was weird, atmospheric, and psychological. New episodes have been released as recently as the 2010s, but for anyone online in the mid-2000s, the damage was already done.
Okay, good video. Wow, that was very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot more he could put in there, I feel like. Yeah, if you're watching out of 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.